This is Simone, and this is Bouncing on the Trampoline of Life. This is probably the most difficult blog I've done so far. I've probably shot this blog at least 3, 4, maybe 5 times with different segments and all that kind of thing. Because I feel really vulnerable doing it. And have you ever had an experience where you thought, maybe I shouldn't tell people because they'll think I'm crazy, and the little white men in white coats, the little men in white coats will come and take me away because I'm... and it has to do with awareness and your body's senses, like, and it's totally illogical. I guess that's the other thing. Like, it's totally logical and it doesn't make sense, and yet I feel so much better for doing it. So I was staying in New York, as you guys know. I'm now in Santa Fe, visiting a friend, and I was supposed to be here for a few days, and then I was supposed to go back to New York. And I really was having a strange time with it. I almost missed my plane actually coming to Santa Fe. I was sort of in this sort of weird space. And part of that was that every day I would go out and, you know, walk the streets of the neighborhood or explore further up into New York and stuff. And there were parts of New York that I felt more relaxed and ease and that kind of thing. But the neighborhood I was staying in, I had this constant sort of state of fight or flight mode going on. And I couldn't stand still because I'd either be accosted or that kind of thing, even standing waiting for the bus. And so I'd end up walking like 10 blocks to get the bus because I was actually concerned. And it wasn't until I came to Santa Fe that I realized how much tension I had been carrying in my body. And along the way, like, maybe some of you have experienced it, where there's like these little warning bells or these little hints that maybe you should not be there. So number one, I was being accosted almost every day if I would go out for a walk, and I didn't feel comfortable, and I felt like I was being watched, which is also sounds really paranoid and weird, but that's how it felt. And then near the park that I would walk sometimes, there was a murder in broad daylight. And had I gone out half an hour earlier, which is what I was planning, I would have been in the park right there near the shooting. And yeah, so it was a combination of those things. And also when I would walk back into the neighborhood from another part of New York, I could almost feel the change in the energy. It was the weirdest thing, and I don't know how other to explain it, but like I could feel it. So when I got to Santa Fe, I sort of told my friend a few of these things, and I sort of tried to laugh it off and be like, ha ha ha, yeah, so paranoid, ha 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 ha. And then I finally was sitting with it for a bit, and I said, can you ask me some questions about this, because I feel really uncomfortable going back. And she said, sure, so what are you aware of? Like, what do you know about this? And I was like, wow, I get the sense that if I go back that I might not survive. Like, I might land up dead. And I know that sounds paranoid, but that's the feeling that I got. And she's like, okay, well, you know, it's up to you. I mean, you have to go with what you know and what you want to choose. And I don't know if any of you know, but I use a lot of these questions a lot. Like, okay, so what do you know? And what's up? And hey, how's it going? What's going on for you? And the nice thing is when you use that question, like, what's up or what's going on, it's really broad, and it can just, the craziest thing can come up that's actually going on, rather than going, oh, well, logically, this must be blah, 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 right? So that's why I asked questions, and that's why I got my friend to ask me questions, is so that I got a sense of what was going on. So it was totally illogical, but as soon as I looked at it and made a different choice and be like, actually, I'm not going to go back to New York. I'm going to stay here for a while and then, you know, return to England. So once I made that choice to, you know, change my flight and stuff like that so that I was going to be in Santa Fe longer, my whole body relaxed, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to die. And I know that sounds really strange, but that's how it feels. And I guess I'm talking about this because I find the more and more I follow my gut feelings and ask questions, the more my life is easier. And like, I was living in Kuwait for a while, and this is how illogical it can be. We were in a sandstorm, these two friends and I, and we couldn't get home because there was no taxis. We couldn't go outside for any length of time because it would have damaged our lungs. And we were in this mall, and these three guys, like young guys, 20, 23, right? We didn't know them. They were locals. Kuwait's not always the safest place. And they said, would you like a ride home? Now, logically, I mean, alarm bells should go off. Oh, that's bad because these are young guys. They might overpower you, blah, blah, blah. But the truth was that when we looked at each other and we sort of asked each other questions like, will this be okay? We all got a sense that, yeah, it would be. And the cool thing was that they drove us home, and we became the greatest of friends, and I'm still friends with them today. So it's that willing to trust yourself and willing to know what you know, even though it's illogical, or even though you might have to disappoint people or cancel things or all of that. Because really, it's you that, you know, if you want to take care of you, you have to do that. Because you can't be there for anybody else if you don't take care of you. So, yeah, so this is probably the weirdest vlog yet, but there you are. So thank you for listening, and what if you could know what you know, and trust yourself. So thanks for listening, guys. Bye!